Welcome to another episode of Weekly Spark. What I have here, and sorry I didn't start with the camera turned around, I'm in a session of doing a couple different things today, and it just, hey, I'm just going with the flow. So what I have here are some pictures from newly sent from NASA from the Hubble telescope. And I mean, they're stunning. I could dive into them. I could gaze at them all day. There's something about this kind of amazing, like smoky, layered, almost watercolor look, and then this really vibrant palette of this bright kind of cobalt phthalo blue, and then these rosy, almost rusty orange tones. So I think this one, and this is the Charon Nebula, I think this is what I'm going to take to the page today. I am going to collage in this image, and I checked the telescope website, and hopefully I will remember to link it below, but it said that, appropriate fair use of these images was allowed. I know that there are people who would probably have watercolor skills to watercolor something that looks comparable to what we see in this image. And that's not me. That's not what I'm going to be playing with today. I might do some watercolor on parts of it. Oh, I think I should have maybe some book text. Oh yeah, that's good with stars on it. I have a lot of these little strips of paper from a book arts project that I was doing with my book arts group, and they're a really nice, heavy kind of watercolor printmaking paper. And so I have a stack of them on the table, and I've been adding them into things and collaging them into things, just waiting to see what ideas they spark. It is pretty fragile paper. It just tore with the ruler in a spot not where I was planning on tearing it. So that simply is my inspiration page, and then I'm going to respond to it on the other side of the spread. It is a laser print, so I can go over it and not worry about anything bleeding or smearing. I do need a little bit more. There we go. Kind of wrinkly, but I'm excited to use this image, so it's not really bothering me. I'm going to paint this whole strip of paper and then maybe use it on both ends. I didn't want to just have paper on the text on one side, because then I think that doesn't look as connected, doesn't look as integrated as a 2-page spread. This is straight up phthalo blue, which I knew I had dry in that little dish. Get a little salt sprinkled on that and see if it gives us some starburst. I'm gonna let that dry. Little texture, just blotting up some of that while it was really wet. This paper is real thin mulberry paper printed with stars, and my watercolor is a little bit wet. So I'm gonna just put this down with a glue stick so I don't have to brush anything across the watercolor that is damp. I'm not sure if I'm going to use one or both, but it might be kind of fun to have a blue on one side and orange on the other, since those two colors were inspired by the palette of this piece. I'm going to pause here and let these dry, and I will be right back. All right, I have some dry watercolors. I have some dry glue and pages. And I'm just not sure what I want to do. I like that. I like that with a little of the image showing on the other side of it. So that can go there. That's too much blue, so I think I'll save the other half for later. It needs another image. It needs something. Hang on. Now, my first instinct was to go with a labyrinth, because I love them. And then there's this whole journey to the stars and journey to learn and explore. And the labyrinth is nothing if not a symbol for that kind of journey. But then I also found these kind of vintage style suns and moons. So these are Xeroxes, and I can probably get these to work as a transfer right here on this watercolor. I think I'm gonna go with the sun first. Although this feels more nighttime, in an outer space thing, it's also all about learning about the life of stars and learning about the cosmos that way. So I might be able to just get it to transfer with my blender pen. It is starting to dry up. These Chart Pack markers with xylene in them are very, very stinky. But the xylene works to transfer the toner from a laser print or a Xerox. Do need to get a little tape on that, because if that moves, I'm going to have problems. And since the marker's not so juicy, then I have to kind of do it in segments. This should definitely be done in a well-ventilated room. And I'm not sure I've got enough marker left to finish. I may have to switch to Plan B, wintergreen oil. Also stinky, also works to transfer the toner. But put your lid right back on. I'm using that washi tape as much for decoration as I am to hold it down. So I want to get some gel medium underneath here to do the heavy lifting, as it were. Let me take away the kind of background protection paper and see how it is. See what we think. Yep, I like it. Yep, that's it. That, inspired by this, both the color palette and the celestial theme, with the opposites of the blue and the orange. That was really fun, really simple and really fun. So excellent. I hope that was a very timely weekly spark with these images just being released, within the last couple of weeks. So if you liked this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you want more art journaling videos, I put out a weekly spark every Wednesday. So for now, I will scrub off some of the gel medium and paint off my hands, and maybe even get to work on another page. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.